What's up, guys? So today we'll be regrading every trade as a 2024 trade deadline. So I'm just looking at Bleacher Reports, which will show like all the grades they did at the time, but now we'll regrade them. Okay, Doug McDermott, Indiana. So Doug McDermott for Marcus Morris, second round pick, and cash. I think I pasted an A for this. McDermott hasn't exactly played all that well for them since the trade. Then again, they give a second round pick. Marcus Morris didn't give a whole lot, and he didn't get a whole lot, so it's like, I don't know. Just I'll give it a C. It's just kind of a nothing trade here, to be honest with you. The Spurs, they get an A minus. I mean, in here, and I guess that's fair. I mean, I think Doug McDermott didn't really have a whole lot of trade value anyway. I think a second round pick is a really solid return, especially considering his contract. I'd give it a B plus, I guess. Nothing crazy, but it's a solid trade, nonetheless. Pat Bev to Milwaukee. They get a B, the Bucks, and this trade has actually been good for the Bucks. I mean, I think Bev's exactly what they need. He's not at his prime level where he was like that one of the best guard defenders in all basketball. He's still a good defender. He's completely changed their. I think ever since that trade, they've been much better defensively, which I think is that was the biggest problem. Maybe it's because of Doc Rivers, but I think he also has played a part in this. So yeah, he's been great for them. So I'd give this a B plus too, A minus maybe. Yeah, I think campaign just was a redundant on this team. I think he just very repetitive style play. He couldn't really play defense. He could shoot the three, but they have a lot of good shooters, so it's like they didn't really need him. And his defensive liability, so yeah. And a second round pick is of nothing, so yeah, it's a good trade. A minus. Sixers, they get a B plus here. I think I'll stick with a B plus here for them. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Beverly wasn't all that great with the Sixers, like in terms of it's kind of the opposite. Like the Sixers need some more like half court offense, especially with Embiid out. And meanwhile, it's the opposite for the Bucks. But yeah, this is a good addition for sure. Like he can shoot the three. He can handle the ball a little bit. Backup point guard. Although they got Lowry too, but yeah. I think this is a good addition. B plus is fair. Royce to the Suns. This is Royce and David Roy to the Suns. Chimezie Metu, Watanabe, and I assume it's a pick swap. And then Keita beats Diop. Jordan Goodwin, 3 second round picks going to the Nets. Okay, so the Nets, it's a good return. I mean, for Royce O'Neal, I think 3 seconds is fair. Yeah, he's a good role player. I mean, they didn't really need him at this point. Like, he doesn't really fit or anything like that. He's like he makes more sense on a win now team, and that's not really that. They're not really a winning team, so yeah. Getting 3 seconds is pretty solid, I guess. B plus is good. And Jordan Goodwin's a young player that I liked last year. He hasn't done a whole lot this year, but we'll see. For the Grizzlies, a TBD. Why? I mean, yeah, they traded with Roddy and they got like a pick swap. I don't know if it's a first or a second, probably a second round pick, but yeah, it's a whatever deal. Yeah, it's a B. Let's see what the pick swap was. They don't say it's probably a second round pick, so yeah, whatever. Suns get an A plus here. And what they give up here, I think they give the second round picks. And Diop, yeah. I don't know about an A plus. I'll give an A. I mean, it's a good trade. Like O'Neal's a good defender. They needed some defense. He can hit open shots. He's a good passer, underrated passer, to be honest with you. Good role player. I think he's exactly what they needed. They need some more playable guys on the wings. Yeah, he's a playable player in the playoffs for sure, and that's what they needed. Good return. Roddy's also more of a long-term guy. He probably won't contribute from this year, but maybe down the line he'll be an asset for them. We'll see. So yeah, I'd give an A for this. Good trade. PJ Washington to the Dallas Mavericks. So Seth Curry went the other way along with Grant Williams, a first-round pick, top 2 protected for Washington, and 2 seconds. So Hornets get an A here, and I agree. I mean, I feel like Washington was kind of like an awkward fit there, and I don't know, it's kind of a weird fit. Yeah, he just didn't really. I don't know. Just didn't like him over there. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but like, he just didn't I feel like it was time to move on. Especially the contract negotiations took a very long time. It clearly looks like these days are numbered, and he's finally gone, and they got a first round pick, which I think is better than what they thought they'd get. Which I think this is an A for sure. Yeah, and Grant Williams actually played well for them too, which is he's kind of turned himself around a little bit, which is nice. He's played better than what PJ Washington was playing for them. I give it an A plus. Like, this is a good trade. Yeah, for the Mavericks, what did they give him? A D plus. Now, at the time, I feel like it was an overpay based on what. Like, here's the thing. There's a weird thing. Like, Washington at face value is not worth the first round pick, but for the Mavericks, he might be worth the first round pick just because of the way he plays. And I feel because I felt at the time that his ability to be a lob threat, it's athleticism, and he won't need to focus more on offense, so he can focus more on the defensive end. I thought it would really translate well, and defensively it's worked. He's been a good defensive player for them, unlike in Charlotte. Like they've simplified his role to being more a defensive stopper, and he's been great in that role, unlike what he was doing in Charlotte. And he's actually what they need. They needed a wing stopper. Not really. He's still not that good of a stopper, but he can still play defense. He's got length. He's got size. Still that lob threat. He can cut to the basket a little bit. Like he can hit 3-point shots. He hasn't been the best there, but he's been solid. This is. I still feel like I still think it's a bit of an overpay, but I think they did fine here. I'll give it a B minus. Yeah, B minus is fair. Dinwiddie to Toronto. Yeah, this is Schroeder, bad for Dinwiddie. Like for the Nets, I mean, you gave him a B here now. I don't know. It's a weird trade. I mean, Schroeder, Dinwiddie, I feel like it was the same player. I mean, Schroeder's actually played better than Dinwiddie has since this trade, so like I guess that's good. Then again, Dinwiddie's an expiring. Schroeder is 2 years, so I really didn't feel the need of why you had to take on the extra year of Dennis Schroeder, who was this mild upgrade, but like at that point, who cares, right? It doesn't really matter. So like I really didn't get this at all. Like either way, like even if you kept Dinwiddie, you'd still be in the same spot, like 11th place. So yeah, it doesn't really make sense to me. Give it a C. And for Toronto, they get a B plus. And they actually waived Dinwiddie after this trade, and then he went to the Lakers, obviously. So yeah, I think this was basically just a financial move. Like I think Dinwiddie's expiring. Schroeder is 2 years, so they want to create more cap space for next off season to do some stuff maybe. But yeah, I think that's a reasonable trade. I feel like they could have got like a pick maybe for Schroeder, but you can't complain too much about this. I'll give it a B. Gafford to Dallas. Oh, it's just kind of big. Okay, so the Mavericks get a 2024 first round pick. So it's two trades. So for first, it's the Dallas Mavericks receiving, or no. Okay, so we'll put this all together. So the Mavericks receive 2024 first round pick, second least of Houston, LA, OKC, Utah. Thunder receive 2028 first round pick. Okay, so for the Mavericks, this is okay. Let's just put this together. So okay, let's break it down this. So Thunder got 2028 first round pick swap. Dallas got Daniel Gafford. Washington got Richaun Holmes and 2024 second worst of Houston, LA, OKC, Utah. So we're going to this first question since they flipped this to Washington. So for OKC, I mean, I like this. I mean, yeah, I mean, this 2024 first round pick is going to be like what? So it's second worst, which means it's going to be either OKC or LAC. So it could be like a very late first round pick. The 2028 first round pick could be anything. You already know this one's going to be a low one, so I think this is a great job by the Thunder here. Taking a chance on what could be a higher draft pick. It's more than likely going to be a higher draft pick, considering. And the worst case scenario is the same thing. But best case scenario, you're going to get a better pick. So I think this is a very smart move by the OKC Thunder. I give them an A. This is a great trade. For Dallas, they get the swap rates to that pick. Yeah. And they get Richaun Holmes in this deal. So I feel like it's a bit of a hefty price, but then I mean, Gafford I think is a very good player. Like he can really, like he's what he need. They needed a guy like Daniel Gafford who can rebound. He's an excellent rebounder. He's a pest. Great defender, shot blocker. Like he's a very good lob threat. He's very athletic, mobile, big man. Can switch, guard multiple positions on the pick and roll and stuff like that. Like he's a great ad for this team as a backup center, maybe even a starting center. He's been starting lately with Derek Lively coming off the bench. Okay, I mean, because Lively's a rookie, so like you need some more experience and depth at the center position. You can't rely on just Derek Lively in the playoffs. Like he's been good, but you need like more insurance. More of like a veteran type of guy. I mean, Gafford's not that old either, but like he's got multiple years in the league, so like he can bang with bodies inside. Yeah, so he's a good get for this Dallas team. I think a first round pick. I think it's okay. I think it's probably a mid to late first round pick. But I think they're in win now mode. You gotta start winning with Luka Doncic sooner than later. So like I think this is a good. I'll give him B for this. For Washington, they get a first round pick for Gafford, a late first round pick, which is fine, I guess. What they give the Wizards, like if the Mavericks a B minus, yeah, it's probably B plus, yeah. Thunder A, I agree with that. And then Wizards A minus, yeah, yeah, this is fair. I mean, I'll give it B plus. I mean, I don't think it's crazy. I don't really like the fact they had to take on Rashawn Holmes' contract. I think that's why it kind of moved it down to the B plus. But you get a first round pick, no complaints here. Yeah, I don't think Gafford really fit their future, so yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they could. I don't know. I give it B actually for this. I don't know. I feel like the contract, and I don't know if Gafford could actually be. I don't know if you can get a better player than Daniel Gafford with a late first round pick. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, Bojan, Alec Burks to New York. So Ryan Arcidiacono, Malachi Flynn, Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes, 2 second round picks in 28 and 29 for Bojan and Alec Burks. Pistons got a B plus for this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Grimes has been a little disappointing so far. I think he'll be fine, but I don't know. We'll see. They got a couple second round picks, and Fournier's got a team option. They'll probably like let him go. Flynn, Arcidiacono are like filler pieces, so like you just base the second round picks with the price here in Grimes. So yeah, it's not a great return. I mean, I feel like they definitely could have done this earlier. I think they could have got a much better return here. I think they could have got a first round pick last year. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, but you got to grade this on face value. You cannot grade this on what they could have gotten. So you got to grade it based on the situation, and I think they did okay. I think Grimes is a good like dart throw, sort of second round picks, but nothing crazy. But I mean, yeah, I'll give it a B. It's like your typical average. It's an okay trade. Nothing bad, nothing good, or nothing like impressive, or nothing like disastrous. So give it a B. Next to an A minus. Yeah, I mean, I'd give this an A. Like I love this trade for the New York Knicks. Like I think this is exactly what they need. They need some more like scoring that they lost. They lost like RJ Barrett and like Emmanuel quickly, so they need some more like shot creation to make up for that. And I think Bojan and Alec Burks would give this for them, and Bojan's played reasonably well for them. I think he's been fine for them. Brooks been a little disappointing, but I think he'll be fine too. I think eventually, I think both these guys are good additions. They can provide some scoring, more depth to that bench, to an already incredible bench. Like their bench is incredible right now. They don't play much defense, but they already got a lot of defense, so it's fine. So I'll give them an A for that. And yeah, B plus for the Pistons. Yeah, B. I'll give them B for the Pistons, A for the Knicks, 7 A minus. So yeah, great trade. Olynyk to Toronto. Okay, so this is Ochai Agbaji, Kelly Olynyk. Utah got Kira Lewis, Otto Porter, and a least favorable first round pick. So the worst of these 4 picks. So this is probably going to be the OKC pick, 28 or 29. Yeah, so they give the Rams a B plus here. And this is a very late first round pick, so like I mean, and they already had like I think like 3 picks in this draft. Yeah, they had the 31st pick for the 32nd pick via Detroit, and they had this pick and the Indiana Pacers pick, and they couldn't even get their top 6 pick most likely. So they'll have four picks, 32 or higher. So like I think they had to like move one of these picks, and they got a young player in Ochai Agbaji who has been, he hasn't been great, but he's been solid defensively though at least. But offensively, he's been pretty disastrous though. But he's still a dart throw. We have to see. It's too early to make conclusions on him though. Olenek, well, he's basically like he fits well with what they're trying to do. I think with his playmaking ability and his being a stretch big, I think fits next to like Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, who love to get to the basket. So like, and yeah, I think his play style, I think age as well too. He doesn't rely heavily on athleticism. So like, yeah, I think he's a good get along Ochai. I think both those guys are worth very late first. Kyra and Otto were like nothing at this point. Otto retired. Kyra Lewis is, and we don't know about him, but we'll see. He's not. I don't think there's much future in his. I don't think there's much future about Kyra Lewis right now. So we'll see. So I'll give the Raptors so they give him B plus here. Yeah, I think I'll give him B plus here as well. Utah C minus. I think it's a bit too harsh. I mean, they get a late first. Kelly Olynyk, I think I really like Kelly Olynyk's fit. I don't think his fit was bad. It's just that they had a lot of bigs down there. Like they already had Taylor Hendricks. Taylor Hendricks. Like they need to open up more playing to Taylor Hendricks, and they also had like John Collins. They got like Walker Kessler. They got Lauri Markkanen. A lot of forwards. So like Olynyk was kind of like the odd man out. He was expiring, so like they probably didn't want to like re-sign him. So like you just gotta move him at that point if you don't want to re-sign him. And why would you re-sign him? You got all those forwards, right? So yeah, you don't want to lose him for nothing. You get Ochai, you get a first round pick late, very late though. But I think this is reasonable. It's not a bad trade. I don't know why I gave him a C minus. That's kind of harsh. I give it a B. Gordon Hayward to OKC. So there's Davis Bertans, Trey Mann, Micic, draft competition. I think it was just second round picks for Gordon Hayward. And for the Hornets, this is an A. Like Gordon Hayward, I don't think had any sort of trade value at all. And I think being able to get Trey Mann, who's actually become a good asset for them, like he's been good. Like he's been a good scorer for them and a ball handler. Like he's played well. He can be a good role player for them. Obviously, I had to take on Bertans' contract for one more year, I guess, but I think it's fine. It's only 1 year. It's not like they're going to use that cap space for like anything. Like they're not trying to compete right away. And Mitch has been good too. Like he's also looked good for them. They could potentially flip him as well for more assets if they wanted to, or keep him as veteran presence, whatever it is. But yeah, he's been good for them too. Like I think this is a great trade, right? Or Hornets. This is like A. Yeah, they gave him a B plus at the time, and yeah, that's understandable. Right now it's an A though, given how well Trey Mann's played. Oaksy got an A minus, and yeah, Hayward's been a little disappointing for this team. Let me just check his stats. I feel like has he played better lately? I don't think so. Sorry. Yeah, he has not been great for them. Like he is. I feel like he's still trying to adjust that offense, but like yeah, he's been very invisible for them right now. Like he's, defensively he's not doing a whole lot, and like he's at least probably some like secondary playmaking and stuff like that. But like he has largely been disappointing, and yeah, like I think giving up Trey Mann was a little disappointing too at that point. Like I feel like maybe he was held back. Maybe they probably should have played him more. It looks like because he looks like a more valuable asset than Gordon Hayward right now. So I'll give it a C plus. But maybe he'll bounce back. We'll see. I think I'll give it a B for now. But if he doesn't, it's a C minus. It's a C. Okay, why is it not scrolling down? Okay, there we go. Buddy Hield to Philadelphia. So this is one of the first trades that happened on the trade deadline day. This was Furkan, Morris, Toronto second round pick, Portland second round pick, Clippers second round pick for Buddy Hield. to give a Sixers a B plus here. And hey, I mean, Buddy Hield's played. I believe he's played well for them, right? Has he? Yeah, I believe he has. Let me just make sure. Yeah, he's been solid. I mean, yeah, he does bring them what the Sixers need. They needed a more like floor spacing again. Same thing like Cameron Payne deal, getting more floor spacing. Like this one to a larger extent though, because I mean, Hield's like a very good. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. Obviously, like you cannot leave him open at all. Like he provides a lot of attention there, giving you a lot of spacing. So yeah, like having him is a great asset to have. Defensively, it's a little bit of a question mark. I feel like defensively, it's you gotta be mindful of that. You have to somehow hide him because he's like not a good defender at all. I've been impressed with his playmaking, and yeah, I think they got him for like a few second round picks. 3 seconds. I mean, he's expiring too, so you gotta keep him. So like I don't know if it's an A plus. Like I mean, that's kind of crazy to say. Like to say it's a perfect trade, but I think an A minus, yeah, is pretty reasonable for this. So I think this is a good trade. Yep. Next up, it's the Pacers C minus. Yeah, this was a bit of a weird trade for the Pacers. Like the Pacers we're in win now mode. So like it doesn't really make sense why you're trading your best 3-point shooter, who was starting games for you. Like I don't really get it. Like I guess they didn't want to like keep him at the end of the. I guess they didn't really like want to re-sign him, but like I mean, you're just trying to win though, right? So like, why you want to get worse? Like this makes them a worse team. And I don't think Doug McDermott's gonna replace Buddy Hield's abilities. He has not done that, so like it doesn't. Yeah, this doesn't make sense at all. And yeah, I mean, I would have just like re-sign him next year too, and then maybe flip him flip him along with some other stuff to get like an impact player. I don't really understand why you have to sell him at this point in the season, right? Like I don't get it. Yeah, I don't think any of these assets are going to be any value. I mean, Toronto's second round pick is going to be pretty high at least, I guess. So I'll give him a C plus. I'll give it a C. And finally, the last one, these are the rest. Okay, so Simone Fontecchio to the Detroit Pistons, Kevin Knox, Gabriel Procida draft rights, and second round pick. Pistons get a C minus. And keep in mind this is the Washington pick, so like, I mean, this is C minus kind of hard. I mean, Simone Fontecchio has been great for the Pistons so far. Like he's been a nice Bojan Bogdanovic replacement. Like he's a shooting ball from 3-point range. He's getting to showcase his game a lot more in Detroit now. Obviously, he won't be able to do that when the team's winning, but like he's still going to be a useful role player. But they shoot the ball. They need some 3-point shooting desperately. Like they need more floor spacing around their core. I think he's going to fit well here. And another like early second round pick. Like I don't really think you need another like raw player. So like I think this is a good trade for the Pistons. Yeah, give it a B plus. Jazz get Kevin Knox, second round pick. Yeah, give it a B. I mean, again, I don't really know why you're selling when you've been playing well, but like, because I guess they didn't want to pay him, and they get like an early second round pick, which I think is a decent return for Simone. So yeah, I guess it's okay. B is okay. Xavier Tillman for Lamar Stevens and a second round pick via Atlanta and a second round pick via Dallas. Oh yeah, this is a good trade too. I mean, for the Celtics, I like this. Like Xavier Tillman's been a great defensive player for them, for the Grizzlies, and he's continuing to do that in Boston. Like I think he can definitely be a nice reserve backup for them. Adding more depth, like I mean, because KP is not exactly the most healthy guy out there. Horford's like 38, so you can't rely on him as health, even if he's been fairly durable over the years. But like he's still very old. So you need like more insurance. I think Xavier Tillman can provide that. Yeah, like he's a great rebounder. He's very good on the glass. He can defend. He can switch. Like he's a fine player. Didn't really give a whole lot. He's still young too. So I think this is a great get for the Celtics. Yeah, I'd give it an A. Grizzlies get 2 second round picks, Lamar Stevens and B plus. Yeah, get a B. I mean, it's whatever. Like I mean, Tillman, I don't think really has a whole lot of upside, and I guess they don't really see him as part of the future. But like, I don't know. I feel like you didn't really need to trade him. Yeah, I don't know. I'll give it a B minus. Okay, now Detroit, Minnesota, Troy Brown, Shake Milton, second round pick, Monte Morris, Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. I mean, I like this trade at time for Minnesota, but Monte Morris has not really played that well for them. And they give a second round pick. I mean, they didn't really give a whole lot either, so it's like, I don't know. It's like a nothing trade. And B, I'll give it a B. I mean, I'll give it a C plus. For Pistons, I'll give it a C plus as well. I mean, no, I'll give it a B. Like, you get a second round pick from Monte Morris who wasn't playing for you. They waived Milton, Troy Brown's something, so I mean, I guess it's okay trade. Not much to say there. This one, Daniel House, New York's second round pick, and cash for a top 55 protected second. So Detroit, I mean, I guess the Sixers want to dump salary here, so like they get being able to get a second round pick and eat Daniel House's contract. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a good trade for the Pistons. Yeah, you get a second round pick for free, basically. Yeah, I give it an A for them. Philadelphia, they get nothing on a salary dump, but man, yeah, I don't support these type of trades at all. C. Yeah. Milwaukee's like, I don't even talk about this. Golden State and Indiana, Corey Joseph and cash for a second round pick. So the Pacers immediately waived Corey Joseph, so they just got cash considerations really here. And they get a second round pick just to save money. Wait, no. Why did they do this? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why. Is Corey Joseph still playing? No, he's a free agent. So they just waived him and gave a second round pick for nothing. They just got cash considerations. I don't really know what the Pacers are doing here. It's a C minus. Warriors get a second round pick for free. Yeah, good trade. B. Yeah. Hey, Celtics, second round pick, top 55 protect for Delano Banton. A plus. I mean, A. I mean, I'm not A plus. I'll give it an A. Like Delano Banton, they give him nothing to get Delano Banton, and Delano Banton's been a really solid player for them. He's been a good role player. He's been great. Like, I don't know if he'll be able to do this when the team's like, in the like next season, like when they're a serious team again. But like, still, he's been good, and they give up nothing and to get him. Like, I think this is a good trade. Give him an A. Celtics, this is C minus. Like you give up nothing. You give Delano Banton, who's become a good rotation player, for nothing. Like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Right, looking at it right now, like at the time, Banton was like a nothing piece, but he's turning into something good. Celtics may have given up a good asset for like nothing. Just a bit disappointing, but yeah. Jaden Springer for a second round pick. Yeah, B plus. I agree with that. Yeah, he's a good defensive player. Doesn't do a whole lot offensively, but he's still got upside. Yeah, I think this is a fine trade. And then the Sixers get a B minus. Yeah, I'd give him a C plus. I mean, I feel like giving up Springer to a rival like Celtics could come back to haunt them. Like, I think Springer can be a good piece that the Sixers could potentially have needed. So yeah, I don't love this for the Sixers. And yeah, that wraps it up. I think. What do you guys think? What do you disagree with? What do you agree with me about here? Um, Comment down below. Thanks, guys.